to In Conversation. We are here with Laxmi Narayan Pai, a.k.a. Lokhi Pai. So, Lokhi, how did it start for you?
From childhood, I had a brother who had very little perseverance for music. But he used to get all the goods in terms of the guitars, the drums, and the accordion and all that. So he used to try it out for a month and then just throw it aside. I used to pick it up, and that's how I learned, basically self-taught. And this continued till I got into college and all that, and then rock took over. Woodstock happened.
69.
1969. Woodstock happened, and then the dream was to be on stage.
Right.
So that's how it started. And then from 1986, I was a semi-professional musician. I had a job to make ends meet, and I used to play music about 3 to 4 times a month with a band, of course.
Sweet. In 86?
From 1986 onwards. And not just one band, because people used to keep moving. So I had a band called Catalog for about 7 years. Then I had another band called 40 Rich for about 3.5 years. Then I was with Alter Egos for about 4 years. And so on, till I retired from teaching, and I've been in music full time for about 10 years now.
Wow. And what made you decide to make that switch?
One is I was fed up with teaching, and it wasn't paying the bills. And the climate in Hyderabad for live music changed. So opportunities were plenty, and the money was good. So I made the jump.
Sweet.
I first played in a 5-star hotel 6 days a week with a band that we had formed called Phoenix. And from the past 6 years, I've been with Meghna Dundi, performing regularly.
Listen, it's safe to assume that you've done like 5 days, 6 day weeks for about 10 years now.
Close to.
Yeah. How do you manage to be consistent with that and do it on a regular basis without burning out?
One, we keep adding to our music. We don't, our repertoire is close to about 1,000 songs.
Sweet.
So, and growing. It's not a static repertoire where you get bored. And even if we do repeat songs, we try and mix it up, as in we change the arrangements and the style of playing. Like we do Ed Sheeran in reggae, we do Adele in reggae. Of course, reggae is my favorite, so we turn it around, make it our own, which keeps it fresh.
Sweet. So that's a lot of creativity that just goes into that, taking a song, rearranging it.
I don't know whether it's creativity or plagiarization, whatever it is. It's fun.
Yeah. What inspires you and motivates you to do what you do?
I have always had this love for performing. I don't like practicing. So I like to be on stage. The challenge is to play without any crutches. Like I don't have any sheet telling me what the chords are, or I play purely from memory. So that is one of the biggest challenges, to remember the whole thing. And of course, there is a system which it's very instinctive. After so many years of playing, it has become instinctive. So that's one thing.
And playing from memory, when you go to repertoire of over 1,000 songs, is quite something. Do you have a strategy to it, or is it just?
If you look at most of the new songs which are out in the market today, they are 3 to 4 chord songs.
Right, the pop.
So it's very easy to handle. It's only when, you take some artist from the 80s where, the cordage was really good. That's when you run into a little bit of trouble and you have to figure out a system to remember.
Right. The ballads.
Ballads, Billy Joel, Rainbow, stuff like that.
And it's been what, 33 years since you've been playing.
Yeah.
What have been the biggest challenges you faced as a musician?
Luckily for me, I didn't have to face many challenges. One, most of the groups that I played with were groups that I instigated or started, because I always wanted to be on stage. So I just had to, even if I used to get people to come along and jam, and it started at home basically. Every Saturday we used to jam. And then I said, let's take this onto the stage. Some people were there some people said, no, we don't want to be on stage. So I found people and we formed a band. It clicked. It lasted 7 years. And then I said, we can keep this going. So people started changing, names started changing, the band name started changing, but the music remained.
Right.
So that's how it's been going on. It's my love for being on stage that's kept me there.
And in terms of how music has changed from the 80s to to 2019, how do you keep evolving and stay relatable to your audience?
See, looking at what we do or what I have done with most of the bands and the individuals that I've performed with is we have always related to the audience. So it's always been audience related, in the sense we take requests from them, and if we can't do it on a particular day, we do it the next time we are at that venue, and make sure that keep the audience happy. I would say if I want to keep myself happy, I don't see any reason why I should be going on stage and performing. I'm going on stage and performing with a purpose.
Right.
So that's how the whole thing has been evolving, and today the whole climate in Hyderabad has changed, where you have venues, a lot of venues which want good musicians. So challenges less.
Less in what sense?
In the sense, back in the 80s, if you look at the scenario, there were just 2 venues which were promoting live music. Today you have well over 50-60 venues which are promoting live music. So it's easier to get picked up.
But in a pool of, let's assume, 1,000 musicians, how have you consistently managed to stay on top?
I don't know about whether it's on top or where, but we've been playing on a regular basis. That's all I can say. I suppose it's one is the quality of the music that we deliver, the type of the music that we deliver. We don't stick to a single genre. We play any genre, and we are dependable.
Right.
In the past 10 years, I don't think I've missed a single gig for any reason.
Consistency is...
Yes, consistency, quality.
What would your opinion be on the current music scene in Hyderabad, and how could it be improved?
The current music scene, I think, in Hyderabad is the best in the whole country. Yeah, everybody's got can get a slot to play. The only thing is now the current temperature is shifting towards regional and Bollywood music. So performers like us who are strictly English based, we are finding it a little more difficult to get gigs. But then we do manage. We do manage. Because we've created a niche for ourselves as purely English music or Western music.
All right. In the in the past 30 years, what's the weirdest thing that's happened to you at a gig?
Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty of them. We were performing at a particular venue where somebody wanted Bollywood music, and he was loud in the middle, in between every song when there was a bit of silence, he used to scream out saying, "I am challenging you to play Bollywood." So finally I got fed up and I told him, "Put your money where your mouth is. 10,000 per song, I'll play you 10 songs right now, Bollywood. You're willing? Let's sign a paper and do it." Guy was so flustered, he got up and walked out. It's not that I'm averse to playing Bollywood. We do play Bollywood. We do a lot of very class Bollywood songs. But we save them only for occasions that demand it.
Right.
We would rather not do it in a venue which is English oriented, because once you start playing Bollywood, there's no end to it. They don't want you to stop.
Right.
So we don't encourage it. That's it. That's about it.
And of late, we've been getting a lot of original music coming out of Hyderabad.
Yep.
What is your opinion on the original music scene in Hyderabad?
I am not involved with any of the original music scene because I am purely a commercial artist. Let's put it that way. In fact, another funny incident that happened was there was this guy who was heckling us during one of our performances saying, "Play original music, play original music." Finally, during the break, I met this guy. He was, of course, sloshed. And he said, "Why don't you play original music?" I said, "I'm happy playing covers." I said, "Why?" I said, "Covers fetch me money. If I play my original music, nobody will hire me. So I'm happy doing something which somebody has already done, tested, and it is selling in the market. So I take that and I do it." That is, of course, my view. I'm not saying that I don't put down original music. Original music in Hyderabad also, we have this festival called Indipalooza, where independent artists are performing. In fact, my vocalist Meghna Dundi did four tracks of her own during the last Indipalooza. I was not involved because I'm not into that part of it where, sit down on a drawing board, create music, practice it, put it together. Doesn't work for me. For me, it's strictly go in the evening, do my job, pick up my money and come back home.
Is that the line people can draw between a professional musician and what is it, an artist? Because people have so many conflicting views about being an artist. They say if you're a musician, you have to make original music.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If you take an artist, I'm talking about somebody who paints, there are people who do reproductions.
Right.
And they sell. And they do beautiful reproductions, sometimes so good you can't make it out from the original. What's wrong with that? That is art too.
Right.
I want to know who is the person who created sambar. I make it every day and it tastes great. I don't see anything, you have to be original about making sambar or mutton curry. It's there, it's there.
Right. Eat it if you want it or not.
Yeah.
Alright, Pops, so the audience has asked a couple of questions. We do this audience asks bit, and we got 2 questions in for you. The first question was, if you are away from your instrument for a long time, how do you get back in the game?
I am sure that if I am given a bicycle now, I'll be able to ride it again. Though I have not ridden a bicycle for maybe 40 years now.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Muscle memory.
It's there.
Right.
You have it. Yeah, you may be a little rusty, but you can always pick up the pace.
Sweet. And the second question that we got was, what is the best decision you made as a musician and what's the worst?
Best decision I made was to become a musician, a full-time musician, and not try and ride 2 horses holding one job, a day job, and play at night. The worst decision I made as a musician is, I don't know actually. I don't think there is a worst decision.
Yeah.
No. Except for maybe playing too much of commercial music. I don't get to play what I like.
What would it be that you'd like to play?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff, Go back to the 80s, there's a lot of music. We still do play a lot of the 80s music, but not enough. The present day music is too simple and too repetitive. But that's what fetches the money. I don't think people will like to listen to us playing what I like. So you have to compromise there. That's the only thing. Other than that, I don't think there's any bad decision as a commercial musician.
Sweet. So, and what is the line? Where does the musician draw the line between the professional musician and the artist? Do musicians have to educate the audience to play the music they want, or is it always the audience's decision? At the
No,
end of the day?
we sort of stick to a formula. In every selection of 5 songs, we play at least 2 songs which the audience may or may not know, which is of our choice. And there have been times when people have come and said, "What was that song you played?
Right.
Who's the artist?" Or we announce it that this song is by this particular artist and please go home and listen to it. So we make it a point to do that. So whether it's effective or not, we don't know, but we do it. So ratio is roughly 60% audience, 40% us.
In closing, what would your advice be to musicians?
I can only say one thing. Lage raho.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Whether you're good, you're bad, if it's your dream, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Sweet. Yeah.
Because this world, I don't think is meant for quitters.
Yeah, they don't survive.
Yeah. Don't compromise and don't quit. You'll get somewhere. The previous government had a beautiful saying, a slogan. They used to say, "Dare to dream, care to achieve."
Right.
So I think this is something as artists we should keep in mind. It's not just dare to dream and leave it there. You should care to achieve also.
That's awesome. Alright, Lokhi, thank you so much for taking the
My
time.
pleasure. Thank you for having me. No one listens to Jethro Tull. No one listens to Jethro Tull. It's a brilliant band. So you don't get to play that. And there's a lot of acoustic stuff in Jethro Tull which you can play. Billy Joel, the only song that they have heard is Piano Man. And they think that is the best of Billy Joel. Billy Joel's got so much more to him than just Piano Man. Chris Cornell, some amazing stuff by Chris Cornell which people haven't heard. They don't want to listen to new stuff. If it's there, they want their cheap thrills, they want their... That's it. And you end up playing the same Hotel California, the same Summer of '69. Even the Eagles have got so many good songs now which people haven't heard. Even Bryan Adams has got some great stuff which people haven't heard. They don't want to listen to it. So you're forced to play only what they want. And that is to, make yourself a selling artist.